Okay, so we're ready to go on this one. As you can see, he's been primed, and you can see that I've concentrated a highlight down the bottom as well as the head and shoulders. So I've got a highlight going all the way around there. So I've decided to do this one in Incubi Darkness. So this will tie in with the, I can't remember her name, Rosia, the other follower. This is the same colour skirt that she's got. And I've got equal parts of paint, water and flow improver, 2 drops of each. And I'll start the stroke at the top, just pull it down. And the idea is that I'll still have a highlight at the bottom and I'll still have a highlight at the top. And because it's thin enough, it'll give us scope to do an extra coat if we need to do an extra coat. And it shouldn't really affect the shadows and highlights. Concerned about is the bubbles that I'm getting here, but if you give it a good going over with a hairdryer, that should sort it out. Or if you use just blow on it, it should go. I don't want to go too heavy because I want to keep the highlights. I'll pull the paint down to the middle. Just trying to pop bubbles here. Okay, I'll leave that dry. I'm going to do a second coat of the Incubi Darkness, but I've added a little bit more water to it this time, so that I preserve the highlights and shadows. And I'm sticking from about there to there, just to make sure I get a dark centre of the mini. So get some water now and push that pigment back up. I'll pull it down in the shadow areas. I'll push up on the highlight area. So I've got water now. And just feather it off up there as well. Don't mind so much about the arms because there's plenty of bits to pick out on there with the folds. So I'll go pretty much close to the top. Both arms. Your water now. Let's push it back up. Okay, so I'll start about there. shadow in there. And the water now. So I'll redo the top part here. I'm going to add a little bit more water again, so I've got a glaze now. It's pretty thin, and let's go across there just to try and get a better transition. And I'll go with the thicker mix here. Push down and pull it back up. It's like a wet blending technique. So, it's starting to look okay. Okay, so we're moving on to highlighting the coat now. Over here I've got Inky by Darkness with a tiniest bit of black, but I've thinned it down quite a lot. I mean, you know, that's a glaze consistency there. So the first highlight is going to be this one, a bit of Dark Reaper with some Thunderhawk blue in it. This one is Thunderhawk blue on its own, and then maybe if I need another highlight, I'll add some of this white ink to it and just lighten it up a bit. So what I do, I pull some of that to the side and add some water and glaze medium to it. And I've done the same there with this mix as well. So I think we're ready to go. So to save time, I've done the face. You know the drill. It's the same process as episode 17 where we did Lucius Malfoy. And for this one, I added an extra highlight of the flayed one flesh, particularly on that right eyebrow, on the chin and the tip of the nose. And it came out quite well actually. So the shirt is pale blue grey, and I've just added a bog standard brown and a flat brown, so we'll come back to that later on. So anyway, we're on to the highlight now. So I've got the Dark Reaper mixed with Thunderhawk blue, and start picking out the tops of the folds. There's some lovely folds on this mini, I love it. I'm really enjoying these followers of Grindelwald. I think if I just concentrate on this side, you'll see what I'm doing. Okay, so the Thunderhawk blue on its own now. Get that highlight up the top there. glaze to build it up, I think. And so I'm going to use that Incubate Darkness glaze now. And get the excess off my brush. Just push the shadows now. So back to the Thunderhawk blue. I think we'll add a bit of white to this now. And yeah, that could work, I think. So that's just a tiny bit of ink into the Thunderhawk blue. I didn't want to overpower it. So if you do, you've still got that glaze on your palette to tone it down again. So that's what I'll do now. I'll go back to the glaze. I might go slightly darker on this glaze as well. Maybe add some Payne's Grey to it, which is my new favourite colour. So I've added some very thin down Payne's grey. I'm talking about a drop of ink to about 6 drops of water, and then added into the previous mix. So it is still very thin because this ink is stacked with pigment. So be very careful. I'm just picking out the deepest recesses now. I'm going to feather that bit off with a bit of water, just in case it stains, because there's quite a bit there. Right, so that's a quarter done. I'll carry on. I'll do exactly the same, and perhaps I'll go through the process again at the back as well, because there's quite nice folds there. So I'll do this half and we'll come back for the back. Okay, so starting again with the mix with Dark Reaper and Thunderhawk Blue. Because of the zenithal priming and the thin base coats, we've still got a highlight down here, so I'll try and maintain that. But if we start picking out I don't have to go as far down because I've still got the highlight there, so this actual layer is darker than the highlight we've got there. So there's no need to go over it because we'll just lose it. So straight onto the Thunderhawk Blue mix. Sorry, just mixing with some more paint. I'm going to try and leave this bit in shadow, so start the highlights about halfway down and pull it up, and then from here down. Just makes it a bit more interesting, really. So onto the Thunderhawk with a bit of white in it. I think we're pretty much there. What I've done while I was doing the front, I've gone back in to reinforce the colour on there, which was pale blue grey, and then add a little bit of white for the tie. I think we're going to go red with that, so I'll get some red ready and we'll do the tie now. So I'm just using I think it's a scarlet, or was it vermilion? I can't remember. It's a medium red anyway. And I'm just going to highlight pick out the top of the tie. Just there, and we'll try and catch the outside of it as well. That's good. and I've added some Payne's grey to it to darken it down, and let's put a little bit of shadow down the bottom here and try and mix it while it's still wet, and just go down the outside of the tie. Try and leave the scarlet on the top there, which I didn't. Let's get some more, just the red. Let's check. There's dark vermilion. It is. It's a Vallejo colour, but Evil Sun Scarlet or something like that would do. But I'd mix something into it to turn it a little bit purpley, or just to desaturate it and darken it. I'll show you on the palette now. Might need a highlight, but I think we're there. So this was the dark vermilion, and this was the Payne's grey that I had on my palette, and I just mixed it there. So it's it's not far off burnt red or black red by Vallejo, but saying as I had the colour on my palette already, so I thought I might as well mix it. From a previous one where we were doing the highlight in the green on the lady follower, I can never remember her name, Rosia, something like that. I had some golden yellow, so I've added that to the vermilion to make like an orange highlight for the top of the tie, and I've done one pass, and I'm going to put another, just a couple of dots at the top, and maybe one there as well. I think that's the tie done. I need to tidy up the pale blue grey, but I think we're done on that one. So I'm quite happy. That's the hair next. Right, save a bit of time. I'm going to use Dark Reaper because it's already on my palette. I'm going to pick out the strands, but only go about halfway down the sides of the hair. And what I'm trying to do is to create a highlight on the crown of the head. So we'll highlight with Thunderhawk blue now. Better. So bring the highlight up to the crown, and I've got Payne's grey, go right down the parting. Sorry about that, I was just checking off the camera. So Payne's grey down the parting, and then we had Thunderhawk blue with a touch of white in it. That's gonna highlight each strand there, but not in the middle, just off the middle, and not down the side of the head either. So let me refocus. That's better. So it's starting to come there. Let's pick out that strand there, and that strand there. So the second pass. Let's check you can see. Right. Again there. Let's put a touch more white into it, and this is just going to be dotting in the middle of that highlight. So we got a nice bit of volume there. Let's highlight that strand, and I think we're done. Okay, that's another one. Mr. Krall is done. All I did after the last shot was to, well, I've still got to finish off, but I'm going to tidy up that bit between the tie and the shirt. I want to get rid of that thick black line, so I'll just do some grey and bring that back. But that's more or less it. The wand is just a bog standard brown, nothing to worry about there, and then I just did the base. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. I'm really starting to like this this colour recipe, by the way. I'm going to use it on a few other miniatures in the future as well. So I'm thinking about I've just made a start on these two, the Caro twins. I'm going to use a similar recipe. Whether it'll turn out as good as this one, I don't know, but we'll see. So yeah, anything you want to see, get in touch. Anything you don't understand, let me know, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But that's it from me for now. We'll see you very soon with the third installment. Cheers.